In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the new Athearn Ready to Roll SD45. This is the version that is equipped with DCC and sound. So we'll unbox this and we'll see how it sounds. I'm kind of curious to see, I expect this is going to be just like the Bachmann sound locomotives with the Soundtrax value sound. It's probably the exact same decoder that they're making for Athearn now. So we're going to take a look at this, and they're not too expensive actually. This one, this particular one could be found on eBay for about $140 to about $160, something like that. But I think for $140, this is definitely worth at least having a look at. It's within that price range. It's the same as the Bachmann, and I have a feeling this is going to be better than the Bachmann offerings at that price. So anyway, let's get started on this product review right now. Alright, let's first get this locomotive out of the box here. Got the trusty box cutter here. Cut that quality assurance seal there. Alright. You can already tell we've got a plethora of detail parts right here inside. Really doesn't seem to want to come out of the box. Wow. Alright, so let's pull the detail package out here. Looks like we've got some details to add to the trucks. Looks like some piping detail, maybe some hoses. I'm not really sure there. I'll have to maybe look at the instructions to find that out. They got this inner package pretty dang tight in this white box. Okay. That out. Sign up for Athearn News. There we go. And we've got a sheet here with the exploded parts. Simple and straight to the point. You can see the separately applied fans there. And this is not bad because you could, if you wanted to detail an older SD45 or even a Bachmann SD45 that doesn't have the see-through fans, you could always order these straight from Athearn, and you could use them on other locomotives as well, not just the SD45. So it's kind of nice to see that. At least that's a way to get parts. So let's get this out of the box. This is like the Athearn Genesis locomotive. Got the two, and of course Bachmann as well. This plastic sleeve. That's really quite tight. There we go. It seems to be a standard nowadays on all these locomotives, no matter whose name is on the package. They use the same packing. Got that soft plastic there to protect the paint. Alright, let's take a look at this here. Yeah, we got a little bit of a bend on the handrail there. It's pretty soft, flexible plastic, but it's not something that would break easily, but it's definitely looks a little bit warped. Separately apply grab irons on the front nose there, and I can also see that there's a wire. You can see the wires running to the in the cab there. Those look like they're going down to the ditch lights. It looks like those are actually wired on this. There's actually bulbs in the ditch lights right there, and the headlight up top here. Those are looks like incandescent bulbs to me, and it looks to me like the number boards are backlit. I can see wires running to the back side of those, so at least that's what it looks like. You can see the separately applied AC unit there. Yeah, this is a really nice job Athearn did on this locomotive. Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this sucker on the layout here, and we'll see how it runs and how it looks and how it sounds. I'm kind of curious about that. Okay, so it looks like the small plethora of extra parts right here, detail parts, looks like some of that actually goes to the fuel tank details. There's a detail assembly right here on the instructions. So that's where those parts go. I don't see anything else on this where those would go. So I'll have to put that on later. So let's take a look at the side of this locomotive. You see, as I said before, the handrails they're soft, flexible plastic. They're kind of sticking out a little bit. That's not really a big deal, I suppose. The lettering looks good, but I can see a little bit of yellow coming through right here on the C, where the line is there for the door. That is coming through. That's the only one that I see, though, on that side anyway. Got separately applied sunshades and very nice detail there. Truck detail is obviously pretty minimal here. Again, this is a rated roll, so can't expect a lot there, but that's the major stuff's there, so it's not a big deal. Can always add details to that later if we wanted to. There are no cab figures. They do have the windows here, cab windows, and they do move. Sliding cab windows, that's a nice touch for a ready-to-roll locomotive. Under close-up inspection, the lettering is definitely crisp there. You can read it. Union Pacific Shield looks really good there. The SD40. Oh, that's interesting. It says SD40-2 right there. This is an SD45, so there's a mistake. Huh. A little bit of lettering right here. That looks all really good there as well. Nice and crisp, legible. A warning label again there. That looks really good. And that one looks good as well. Take a look at the one back here. Ownership subject to a security agreement filed with the Surface Transportation Board. I think that's what that reads. I'm just reading it off of the viewfinder, but you can read it, so it's impressive. You know, even the ready to run stuff's got the really nice lettering. Get the fine lettering there under close inspection. There, it's really good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the front of the locomotive here, and just turn him around like that. So on the front here, we can see again nice lettering done on the label right here. Everything looks nice and crisp right here. All the lettering looks good. Nice separately applied handrails and grab irons yet again. We've got these ditch lights right here that appear to be functional. We'll have to find out when we actually power this thing up. Coupler, cut lever, McHenry coupler, snow plow, and MU hoses down here. I don't see a receptacle molded in anywhere up here. Again, nice coupler cut lever. It feels like it's plastic. McHenry coupler, MU hoses, separately applied grab irons up here, and reverse light as well. It looks to me like it's two incandescent bulbs. That looks like, to me anyway, that's what that looks like. You can see we do have a couple lift rings up here. They look like they're molded in. I don't see any other molded in lift rings or any lift rings of any kind on the top. So I have mostly rivet detail along the top, and that's about it. Nice see-through fans though. So yeah, it's got kind of more of a basic detail set on this, but it's not too bad actually. It's definitely better than the detail that Bachmann puts on their locomotives at this same price range. And get him on the layout. Okay. Alright, so let's fire this thing up and see how it sounds here. So this isn't really a big deal for me, but there's nothing in the box or in the exploded parts diagram telling you what the functions are for the decoder. So if you give this to somebody who's never used a DCC controller before, or you're used to another decoder and the way it works, you're not used to soundtracks or whatever, that might be an issue for you. So anyway, that's just something I thought I'd point out. Let's go ahead and turn it on here. And it just comes right up. Let's do F1. This should be the bell. And then do F2 for the horn. It's pretty good response on the horn there. Short horn. It's F4. I don't see anything happening now. Let's see, F5. Okay, we do have functional ditch lights. I'll show that in a second. Let me turn the headlight on here. So on this locomotive, F5 is the ditch lights. Try F6. You don't see anything. 7, 8. Okay. F8 mutes it. I don't hear anything on F9. Nothing on F10. Okay, so seems like a pretty basic set of functions on this decoder. Nothing too fancy, but we do have at least the bare minimum, so that's enough for me, frankly. Seems like a lot of decoders have so many sound functions that I don't use, so. I don't see the number boards lighting up. I thought that had wires going to that, but I might be wrong about that. The ditch lights definitely turn on, and so does the headlight, but I don't see any button that'll turn the number boards on. So I guess it doesn't have backlit number boards. Okay, so let's go ahead and speed step 1. We're at 128 right now. Yeah, very smooth. I'm going reverse here. You can see the rear light came on there. Very smooth drive on this. Athearn did a very good job on this. Alright, let's go to the front of the locomotive and I'll show you the headlights and the ditch lights here. Now you can see that ditch lights are lit. They're not terribly bright, but at least they're there. And they don't flash, so that's prototypical. I wouldn't have expected them to, being a value sound decoder, but there is a little bit of hum from the motor. I'm going to go ahead and mute it here, so hopefully that'll pick it up on the camera. Alright. We'll do speed step 1 going forward here. Alright. Speed step 3 right now. I'm going reverse here. Seems to be a little bit quieter in reverse, but I don't really mind a little bit of motor noise. The decoder, number one, is plenty loud enough to mask that. Number two, even if you did hear it a little bit through the decoder, it just kind of adds to the realism of the prime mover there. So turn that back on. And because there's no manual to this decoder with the locomotive, I can't tell you if it has an engine startup or shut off sound. It just has a mute, so. And I don't see anything else that goes on with F8 other than mute. So let's hook it up to my row of about 10 or 12 boxcars I've got back here, and we'll see how it can pull it. I'm sure it can pull it fine, but since I have no other way to do a pull test, this will have to suffice. Okay, so I've actually got 14 cars on the hook here, so let's go ahead and see how this gets on here. Do speed step 1. It's definitely pulling the consist of 14 cars really nicely. Speed step 1, it's smooth. Let's go up to about 3 here. Now we'll go to 5. Okay, prime mover kicked up at about 9 speed steps. And then it drops down when you hit back about 6 on there. So it looks like, okay, 8 speed steps is when it goes up and 6 is when it comes back down. Yeah, it's definitely pulling this without any kind of problem whatsoever. Five speed steps, 6, 7, 8, 9 in reverse. Let's do 10. Yeah, I'm already really impressed with this locomotive, I gotta say. For the price and the fact that it has sound, sounds like a Soundtracks decoder to me. I don't know. Let's set the camera on the locomotive here, and we'll do a little bit of a ride-along video, at least as far as I can until I hit the mountains here. I think for $140 this is definitely a good buy. Separately applied everything, see-through fans, functioning ditch lights, sound, a lot of stuff there that Bachmann doesn't have on their locomotives, and that's mainly the price point that Bachmann operates at with sound locomotives, and they're not as well detailed. Just look at the S2 and the S4; they're not anywhere near as nice as this, and they're about $140, $120, $140 depending on where you get them. So I think Athearn's got a pretty good thing going here. It's been a while now that I've thought that they should be doing this with the value sound, just like Bachmann's been doing. I think that's something that these have been missing for a while, and I'm glad to see it. This one has road number and road name specific details on it. That's something that Athearn is starting to do with their ready-to-run locomotives, so that's a nice touch. They're not just leaving that to the Genesis line; they're actually bringing that down to the ready-to-roll, ready-to-run, whatever they want to call it, line as well. So yeah, it's I think it's a pretty good buy for $140 plus shipping. So I've got 2 more reviews coming up, as well as a TCS Wild Decoder installation, so stay tuned for those. And they'll be coming up very, very shortly, as a matter of fact. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next time right here on Nick's Train Channel. Alright? Peace out, everyone.